Folks, thanks for joining us here. I'm very excited to have Mr. Arvind Kaushik join us in this conversation. Arvind is the Senior Director for Enterprise Analytics and Shared Services at Mattel, the leading manufacturer of toys. Arvind, thank you so much for joining us and
Glad to be here.
for being a part of the panel at our roundtable conversation. Uh, one of the conversations I wanted to have with you was to uh, place a statistic in front of you and see what your thoughts were.
Yeah.
A Gartner research tells us that only about 21% of supply chain professionals are comfortable with the level of visibility that they have to their supply chain.
Okay.
For the remaining 79% who are sort of flying blind, what do you think is the importance of getting their data in shape, trying to figure out what to do with it, and
Okay.
what can we actually tell them about where they are at and what they can do?
Okay. I think I'm going to pick up on the word you just used. They are literally flying blind. And what I mean by that is to elaborate on on the question that you posed and the role data plays in the organization and supply chain. I do want to use a concept or a theory that I've been toying around for quite some time. The concept of the fact that we live in the third information revolution. And
Hmm.
I can go into details as to what the first one was, which was all about functional applications. The second one being around ERP applications. And where we are right now is functional applications living on the cloud. But the fact that they're all connected using a network that has quote unquote unlimited bandwidth and tremendously low latency in terms of information transfer, it is almost paramount that these applications are connected in the form of being able to send data to each other and from each other and
Right.
aggregate that data in a place that can be used for deriving meaningful insights.
Hmm.
So I would not be overstating it if I say that uh, connecting data across applications is probably the single most important focus
Hmm.
organizations, digital organizations, technology groups, IT organizations, business functions that rely on technology. This has to be their single most primary focus at this point. That's the age we live in, because the fact that we have so many applications and data is being generated ad nauseum, connecting them is of paramount importance. That's how I see it. That's my opinion.
Awesome. And I guess once you start connecting data is when the magic can really start kicking in. I just wanted to touch upon that to see what sort of is the art of possible if
Yeah.
we started connecting data. What does that world look like?
So let's take a step into the world of supply chain. Right? Given that we're talking
Hmm.
about supply chain and so the way I see it is, if you look at supply chain as a simple example of a manufacturing organization, you have suppliers of raw material, you have manufacturers, you have distribution networks, and you have customers on the far end, of the consumers, right? So the art of possible there is you have functions or applications doing all these individual functions, and the moment you connect them in the
Hmm.
form of bringing the data together at one place, you instantly have a minefield that begs to be explored.
Hmm.
And that data, for lack of a better word, I'll use a data warehouse or a data lake, whatever you want to call from a technology perspective. Having all that data in one place gives the organization tremendous potential to explore use cases,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
specifically supply chain. When we talk about supply chain visibility,
Right.
that's a basic use case.
Yeah.
The moment you connect these four, in my mind, suppliers, manufacturers, distribution networks, and consumer demand,
Right.
uh, just having that visible in one dashboard
Hmm.
is going to be improving the ability of the organization to make better decisions just by that simple one dashboard. I'm not even talking about any advanced real-time capability or AI/ML work. All
Right.
that is pure icing on the cake.
Right.
Just
Right.
visibility into a connected four data points, talking the same type of, for example, the challenge we faced doing in one of our projects was the product number used by the manufacturer is very different from the product that is sold to the consumer. So the demand is tracked using product number ABCD, whereas the manufacturer talks about product number 1, 2, 3, 4. So just connecting those 2 points, yes, the data is there in one warehouse, but mapping ABCD to 1, 2, 3, 4 was an exercise that was a challenge that had to be overcome. But the moment you do that, and the fact that you have one dashboard showing 4 data points just instantly increases the capabilities of the organization. And that's just a starting point. So you have a lot more use cases that you can explore beyond that.
Awesome. For all of you who are watching this, that lot more use cases and the deeper conversation around this is going to happen at the LatentView Roundtable on 3rd February. Do join us along with Arvind Kaushik for a really interesting conversation that we're going to have. We look forward to seeing you there. Thank you so much.
I look forward to exploring these topics more. I'm sure there are a lot more opinions that we can delve into with the other panelists as well. And I'm sure the audience is going to be having questions as well. So it'll be good to have this conversation.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Arvind. Appreciate you taking the time.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.